Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today, I'll be your guide to the proper usage and care of your Glashütte Original Senator Excellence Perpetual Calendar Limited Edition. This is an automatic winding timepiece, and the kinetic energy of your wrist is converted to wind of the mainspring by the caseback rotor. This system will wind the watch once it's running, but should the watch run down, you can manually wind it to start the mechanism by turning the crown in its first position flush to the case 25 to 35 turns. This will be sufficient to start the movement, and you will see the hand at center beginning to advance. At this point, you can set the time, set the calendar, continue to wear the watch, and it will continue to energize itself. But should you wish to wind the watch to its maximum rated power reserve of approximately 100 hours, simply continue turning the crown. It will be a relatively protracted process due to the immense power reserve of this watch, but eventually you will hear a subtle click or tick from within the case. That's the bridle style mainspring slipping by design to relieve excess stress and strain. It prevents you from overwinding the watch. You cannot accidentally overwind the watch, and it also serves as your audible cue that the watch is now fully wound. You can set the watch precisely against a reference time by using the stop seconds function. Find an online atomic clock that is accurate to your local time zone, and then what you want to do is wait until the seconds hand reaches the index at 12. Then, as the seconds hand coincides perfectly with the index at the top of the dial, pull the crown out to activate the stop seconds or hacking function. This halts the movement. Now the seconds hand is halted. Against your atomic clock reference, you want to set the correct hour, but you want to set the watch 1 minute in advance of the current time. So wait until the watch is synchronous with the reference time. That is, the reference time will catch up to the time you've set to the hour, minute, and second, then press the crown down on the watch. You've synchronized the two. Now your watch displays correct time. Keep in mind before setting the calendar that you should never attempt to set the indications of the calendar, the moon phase, the day, the month, the date, between the hours of 8 p.m. and 4 a.m., as this is the period during which the watch is engaged in manually jumping all of its indications. Attempting to use the quick sets, which are actuated by case flank pusher adjuster, during the danger zone of 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. can severely damage the movement. So always take care to recognize where the watch is in the 24-hour cycle before you set the perpetual calendar. The perpetual calendar is set using the 4 dimple adjusters on the opposite case flanks of the watch. It's important that you use exclusively the Glashütte Original pusher adjuster tool included with the watch to avoid physical damage to the case that may undermine the integrity of both the movement and the watch's watertight hermeticity. With respect to water, it's important to note that H2O represents one of the 3 primary hazards that your watch will face: water, magnetism, and shock. Now, water is the most severe because it can disfigure your watch but also affect its chronometric precision, even stop the movement. This timepiece is water resistant per the case back to 5 bar or 50 meters, which is exceptional for a dress style timepiece, generally only water resistant to 20 or 30 meters. Nevertheless, the strap, which is leather, is a natural porous material, never water resistant. Always keep leather straps remote from water. Dry them immediately if they become moist, and if you suspect that the watch may be exposed to water in quantity, fit a water-resistant band from Glashütte Original prior to exposure. It's also important to remember that you can help avoid accidental drowning. Don't use the pusher adjusters. Keep them all disused, not just while the watch is underwater, but when there's water on the case. The same rules apply to the crown. Don't turn it to wind, don't pull it to set. Keep all of the controls of the watch disused as long as there is water on the watch. Not merely submerged, but when there is water on the watch. It's also important to remember that water resistance is not a static feature of your timepiece. Over time, as seals age and lubricants degrade, your watch will be relatively less water resistant than when it left the factory or the service center. For this reason, it's important to have the watch water tested per Glashütte Original at least every 12 months. A dry test at an authorized service center will determine whether your watch retains its 50-meter rated resistance and capability. This is also a good time to have the total condition of the watch, cosmetic, water-resistant, and chronometric, tested by an authorized service center representative. Magnetism is not as severe a risk to your watch, but it is ubiquitous and unseen. Its effect is to alter the state of the ferrous hairspring at the center of your watch's balance. That's the heartbeat of your watch. Magnets are omnipresent. Keep the watch remote from powerful electromagnets such as wiring looms, computers, high-powered electronic home and office devices, personal devices, as well as standing magnets of power, such as the closures of wallets, purses, or refrigerator doors, speakers, subwoofers, or even the pickups of musical instruments. If you suspect due to erratic running, fast or slow, that your watch may have become magnetized, take it to an authorized service center of Glashütte Original, where specialized equipment is available to quickly and easily demagnetize your timepiece. Shock, however, can cause more serious damage. Minimally, shock can affect the precision of your watch. Maximally, it can eject sapphires, shatter sapphires, or even damage your movement sufficiently to stop the watch. Therefore, keep your watch disused during concussive sports such as batting, tennis, or golf, firearms marksmanship, or concussive vehicular activities such as the riding of mountain bikes, off-road mopeds, motorcycles, or ATVs. Ultimately, per Glashütte Original, every fine timepiece requires a comprehensive service overhaul every 3 to 5 years. It's important that this be performed exclusively at the factory itself or an authorized service center, as these agencies solely have the trained personnel, specialized tools and equipment, and original Glashütte Original factory replacement parts to maintain the value of your watch as both instrument and as investment. Moreover, only these agencies are able to back all labor and parts invested with a Glashütte Original factory service warranty. Visit our website at govbergwatches.com and call, text, or email our experts, who will be happy to walk you through every phase of the usage, care, and ownership of this or any Glashütte Original fine timepiece.